Good morning. It is 5:27. It is December 27. Just worked out that way. Thanks a lot for coming and visiting me, saying hello, getting some energy in the morning, because that's what I'm out here doing. It's the last day. No, it's wow. Wait, today is Monday. Oh wow, forget. Today is Monday, not Sunday. Beginning of the week. Plan out your guys' weeks. Make sure you've got things laid out. It might be one of those easy weeks for you. No school, maybe no work. You got a little time off. And so plan that in too. So that when you look at your schedule, you look at your calendar, you know that that's going to be there for you to enjoy. It's 1969 at Florida University. The students come to the first class. They walk in and they see the professor standing in front of the classroom. They sit down on what looks like those stadium seating. You know, it starts low and goes really, really high towards the back of the class. The beginning of the class, this is a photography class. And so the professor, he looks up and he motions with his arm and he, like he's parting the Red Sea. He says, "Everybody to my left, for the first semester of this course, you belong to the quantity group. So in this class, in order for you to get an A, you're gonna have to take, over the course of the year, over the course of the semester, you're gonna have to take 100 pictures. You want an A, 100 pictures. If you take 90, you get a B, 80, you get a C, and so on and so forth." He motions now to the right side of the class and says, "You students here on this side of the class, you belong to the quality group. And so for you to get an A in this semester, everybody on this side, you need to submit one photo. That's it, one photo, but it has to be nearly a perfect photo for you to get an A in this class." So he divides up the two groups, the classes. On the left side, he sees quantity, and the right side, he takes a picture. He tells them they are the quality. So over the course of the semester, he's wondering to himself, who's going to take the better picture? Is it going to be the quality or the quantity? Much to his surprise, he finds that the best pictures come from the quantity group. Everyone's sitting on the left side of the class. And he starts to think about why. Why did the best pictures come from people on the left? And he reasoned out is because on the left side, they were taking pictures. They were learning how to develop pictures. They were doing all kinds of different methods in the dark room when, you know, digital cameras didn't exist back then. It was all analog cameras. And so they had to develop film in the dark room, the black room, I forget what it's called. They had to play with light. They had to learn so many things and to submit those 100 photos. Versus the quality group, they spend a lot of their time learning about how to take a good picture. They learned about the theory behind it, what kind of lighting you should have, what kind of this you should have, what kind of that you should have. And they took in a lot of head knowledge. But when it came time to show proof of what they learned, the professor found that those who had took and submitted 100 photos, and who knows how many more over the course of that semester, they were the ones taking the best quality pictures because they did it over and over and over and over again. Through their tests and through their trials and through their failures, they gained much needed experience. Whereas on this side, the theory side, they didn't take very many pictures. And so in their head, they knew what it should look like, but they weren't able to develop a picture that looked what it looked like in their head. A lot of times we get caught up in what is James Clear says. James Clear calls it, a lot of times we get caught up in motion versus action. So he says there's a difference between being in motion and being in action. And he says being in motion is good. Being in motion is like that quality group. the quality group means that if you want to eat healthier, you watch a few YouTube videos, you go out and you buy the ingredients, you go out and you fill up your refrigerator with the best foods. That's being in motion. But being in action would be setting up and doing the diet that you said you're going to do every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, holding yourself and sticking strong to that diet. Doesn't matter how many good foods or how many meal plans you've got planned out, the nicest packaging, and you've got it all laid out. I've done that. But if you don't do it, not in action, then it doesn't really yield any results. And he says the danger with motion and action is motion. Sometimes you trick yourself in thinking that you are doing some action. You trick your own self. It feels like action, but in actuality, it by itself does not yield any tangible results. Just like studying about photography and studying about how good lighting and good framing and good developing, that motion doesn't yield any results by itself. It's only the action side. And so he's saying find a good balance on staying in motion, getting in motion, starting, but don't get stuck in motion and never taking action. I'm guilty of this too. Sometimes I just go into that rabbit hole of learning, never did anything. I'll give you an example. I just thought of my friend. He didn't do much of the motion part, and he just dived in. He just dove into investing in some crypto or setting up an investment account. Not very much money in the account, but that was the action. Whereas I did a lot of the motion, like, okay, when I get it to this point and when I understand it at this point, then I'm gonna start taking action. But this guy said, you know what, forget this part. I'm gonna just do the action part and I'll figure it out along the way. And that action in itself is the taking of the photos. That is the quantity group of taking photos over and over and over and over. Ideally, you'd like to do a little bit of both, right? You want to invest, and you also want to learn about your investments and how to balance your, at the end of the fiscal year, you want to allocate, to bonds, or it's more to investments, stocks and whatnot. And anyway, not important. Important thing is he got some money into the bank account and it's doing its work. Yeah. So motion versus action. You can read all the best books on weightlifting, and you can watch all the men's fitness videos on YouTube, and you can follow the best YouTubers. Bradley Martin, I love the way that guy looks. But if you don't go into do the reps, if you don't put in the reps, you're not going to get the muscles. You need to put in the reps, and that's such a good phrase. Put in the reps to get action. So motivation versus action. And I thought I was shocked too when that professor, he found out the same results, and I guess he reasoned it down that yeah, constant action over time yields good results versus constant motion over time, and just motion itself will give you just a normal plain Jane looking photo and earn yourself a C at the end of the semester. So that's a kind of thought I've been thinking about for the past couple of days, is not staying in motion but also getting in action. Motion versus action. Yeah, that's about it. Today's Monday, school. Last week of the school year. I've got next Monday off. I gotta schedule that. Make and do something next Monday. Yeah, get into plane mode. That's about it. Love you guys. Thank you guys very much for checking up on me, saying hello. Thank you very much for the comments down below. I will return any comments that you left me, and we will see you guys next time. Aloha. Take care. Love you. Self-discipline is the name of the game. Aloha.